Petra.com contact preferences, Twitter has security issues, a somewhat interesting White House petition, the text message turns 20, and researchers play with Legos. For science, obviously. I'm Monica Holmes with Petra Industries, here to bring you 5 of the week's hottest news stories, all right here on Petra Channels. If you're not already familiar with our amazing catalogs and email offers, you should be. If not, that's okay. I forgive you. In addition to forgiveness, I'm also here to tell you how to edit those settings through the Petra.com website. Simply go to petra.com/contact and click the 4th option down. It should read, sign up for our catalogs and email offers. Want to be the first to know about new products, price reductions, special buys, and more? Sign up for one of our other email offers. Want to get new product editions delivered right to your door? Sign up for our biannual catalog and/or a series of flyers. There's also an option to have the most current catalog sent right to you. When you're done, just click Update Preferences and you're good to go. Social media site Twitter came under scrutiny this week when researchers discovered a vulnerability in the site's Tweet by SMS feature. Apparently, the security flaw allows attackers to post to a user's Twitter account by spoofing the phone number from which a text is sent. The user is not alerted and may not discover the stray tweet until returning to their timeline to narcissistically read their own posts. Everyone does that, right? The only thing needed to exploit the security flaw is the knowledge of the mobile number from which a text is sent. Like email, the from number of a text is pretty easy to spoof, tricking Twitter into thinking the update is genuine. Perhaps this is also the same method by which Chris Brown has tricked Twitter into thinking he's still relevant. Researchers say they also found the same flaw in Facebook, but that the security team has already patched the issue, which probably means they just disabled it entirely. Twitter was notified of the issue on November 28th, but has yet to fix it. In the meantime, while we wait in fear of some hacker overseas commandeering our Twitter accounts to post a picture of his latte, it's suggested those who use the Tweet by SMS feature either enable PIN codes or disable it altogether. Okay, something which can only be described as freaking awesome, a petition has begun circulating asking the White House to secure funding and resources in order to begin construction on a Death Star by 2016. While slightly less awesome than Texas' petition to secede, though I imagine there's a big difference of opinion on why that's so great, the reason given for the petition is reportedly to strengthen our national defense. What? Defense? How about strengthen our national awesome? An excerpt from the petition reads, by focusing our defense resources into a space superiority platform and weapon system such as a Death Star, the government can spur job creation in the fields of construction, engineering, and space exploration. With defense spending already in the hot seat, the future of the proposal isn't looking bright. Estimates have placed the cost of needed steel production alone at 13,000 times the world's gross domestic product. On the upside, if it gets about 24,000 more signatures, the White House actually has to consider it. In case you're in your 20s and haven't yet been graced with the opportunity to feel old, the text message officially turned 20 this week. The first ever text was sent in 1992 by software engineer Neil Papworth to Vodafone director Richard Jarvis, who received the message on his Orbital 901 cell phone. While certainly not known as a particularly elaborate form of communication, texting has grown in popularity across age groups and cultures. Nearly 6 billion SMS messages are sent each day in the U.S. alone, and over 8.6 trillion are sent globally each year. Unfortunately, at only 20 years old, texting may already be past its prime, as users are moving to smartphones and third-party messaging tools to circumvent the cost of per-text charges. But smartphones still only account for about half of all cell phones, so odds are it's still got a few good years left. A team of researchers from the Open University in the UK recently demonstrated how little else they have to do when they decided to find out how tall a Lego tower can be before it crushes itself. In order to come to a scientific conclusion about the concept, researchers had to determine the mass of material as well as its yield strength, which describes how much load a material can take before it begins to deform. Using a hydraulic testing machine, the engineers placed a 2x2 Lego into the device and ratcheted it up until they were able to get the desired result. The brick began to slowly deform at an impressive 950 pounds. From there, and with the knowledge that a 2x2 Lego brick weighs about 1.152 grams, you can now determine how tall a Lego tower could be before it was crushed under its own weight. Don't get out your calculators. I'll help you out. That figure is 375,000 bricks. To give a slightly better perspective, you could theoretically build a tower just over 2 miles high before it begins to buckle. By minimizing mass, in this case using a 1x2 brick instead of a 2x2 brick, it could even theoretically be possible to create an even taller tower. Okay, so you probably didn't really need to know any of that, but now you do. That's all for this week's 5 and 5. Check back next week for more science and technology news.